Orange Goblin, that was freaking awesome. Heavy fucking metal in New Orleans. First show in the U.S. after touring in the U.K. And is this your first tour in the U.S.?
No. Nah, this is sixth, yeah.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Joe. I play guitar.
I'm Ben, and I sing.
I'm Chris. I play the drums.
I'm Martin. I play bass sometimes.
You are a beast. A heavy metal beast. You love your fans, obviously, and they love you. And this is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
that was awesome.
It's all about going on stage and giving it all you got.
Yeah.
So tonight was a good way to start. Yeah, I'm absolutely drained now. I think jet lag's hitting, and
I know we had to do the interview
mixture
after.
of jet lag and exhaustion, but you know, it was a good show. It was a good way to start a US tour.
Yeah, it was fun. And you're going to Austin next?
We are, yeah. Looking forward to that drive. We're playing at Red 7.
Red 7.
Oh, yeah.
Which we played earlier this year as part of South by Southwest. The outside.
Oh, you were at South. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Tell us about your new album, That's for the Fans. People have been receiving that album.
It's been received really well. It was a live album that we kind of had no real intention of doing, but you know, we did a couple of festivals last year in France and the UK, and there were the facilities there to record the shows, and we took advantage of that. And when we watched it back and listened to it, it was like, this ain't so bad. And people have been on us for a while to do a live record, so we thought, well, now's as good a time as any. And we didn't want to do one of those live albums where you go back in the studio and try and fix everything and overproduce it and polish stuff up. We just wanted it to be raw and, you know, the sound of us on stage live, and I think that comes across.
It does, and you guys were so natural on stage. It comes across that you've been doing this for a long time, which is
18 years.
Do you mean we looked bored?
No, it's so natural, you know. And when you covered some old songs, one of the old songs that you covered was amazing. I felt a little Slayer in there, kind of something going on.
I mean, we try and incorporate a little bit of everything in our music. All of our influences go into the melting pot, and by ripping off so many people, we create something that's quite unique.
It's fair.
No, yeah, it was definitely unique.
It's fair to say we wear our influences on our sleeves. Basically, we've
never been afraid to do that. You know, there's no reason. I mean, what we listen to at the time of when we're recording is always comes out on the record. So, and we're never ashamed of our influences. Why should you be? You know.
Right. And who are some of your biggest influences?
I think Sabbath's the obvious one, but you know, Motorhead and anything from the Allman Brothers right through to Slayer.
You know. You played some Southern.
Yeah.
Tonight.
We all have slightly different tastes.
Oh yeah, yes,
So, I mean, Chris is more punk, Martin and Ben are more bluesy, so we kind of just put it in the melting
comes
pot.
together. That's great. Yeah, no, I definitely, you played a song for the South, since you're in the South, I think.
Drum and Blues, yep.
So anything you want to tell Rock and Roll Street, the fans of Rock and Roll Street, and your fans?
Well, it's great to be back in the States, and you know, we definitely feel that we've got a strong fan base here, and we get a lot of love wherever we go, and it's much appreciated. We're just hoping that this tour, being the first headline tour we've done off the back of the tour we did earlier this year supporting Clutch, which meant we had exposure to a lot of people that may have never seen us before. We're hoping that that's going to sort of snowball, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of people coming out to the shows, and you know, hopefully this whole thing can grow from here. And
right. I mean, you're huge in the UK, and you guys, was it your choice not to go international for so long?
Well, we kind of all had day jobs, and we've only been like professional since January. So getting time off to tour around the world and stuff was really kind of tough, because it was just our holiday for like our
17 years.
17 years. It was a kind of hobby.
But we've always been international because we've always
traveled. Yeah, but now you have international acclaim. Like people are just like going crazy for
also,
you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really weird because we still consider ourselves in a way a new band, but to a lot of people we are the old school because we've been going for, since the mid-90s. And so, you know, it's quite an odd thing because, you know, there's a lot of kids coming to see us who are just like, you know, you're one of the originators or whatever. It's like, we're not.
You're fans of every word to every song.
On things like Twitter and things like that, you see every day people saying, wow, how comes I've missed Orange Goblin all these, you know, and it's like, you know, so you're still catching people every day, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of a good thing, you know. It's kind of a bad thing that it's taken so long, but
we're in a position now where we've got a catalogue of 7 albums, and people that are catching the new stuff. There's a lot for them to go back and find, and hopefully that means sort of increased sales in all those old albums and things like that.
Yeah, I think what Chris kind of means about being a new band is, I mean, we're not doing this for the money. We've been doing this for a long time, and it's playing shows like this when there's lots of people coming to see. It does feel like we started over again because there's faces you've never seen before, and they said this is the first time we've seen you. It keeps it sort of fresh.
Even though you become huge, you will always still play, you know, in smaller venues and for the fans.
I think the style of music we play dictates that we'll always be an underground band. We're under no illusions that we're going to be the next Metallica or Iron Maiden.
Really? Right, I'm off.
We just, you know, we do it because we love it. There's, you know, 18 years into a career, there's no financial gain or anything like that. We do it because we genuinely love playing this music and getting to see the world and meeting fans in different countries and different towns, and you know, that I don't see that ever changing. So,
what are you most looking forward to on this tour going? I mean, I know New Orleans is the best city in the world, but
I think
that was it.
Actually, going into Canada as a headline act, we've never done Canada as a headline act before. We've toured with Clutch, earlier this year, but we've never played in Canada as a headline. So that'd be interesting and fun. I mean, we got quite a cool fan base in Canada.
I think the other thing as well is, because we've been around so long, we've got so many friends over here. So you judge like how cool it's going to be by who you're going to meet at the show. We've got a lot of old friends in the USA, so you kind of like, I look forward to Portland because I'm going to see this guy. I look forward to LA because I'm going to see these.
Pretty much every show there's old
So it's you know, I kind of really look forward to just seeing old friends, really.
right.
Yeah.
That's
it's a nice way to meet, you know.
And get away from your family for a while. I'm just kidding. I know you miss.
That's the hardest part of touring.
Right. But Skype is good for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I have a question about football, Joe. Like, what happened with football?
Oh man. Well,
you missed the tour
thing
you
is,
paid
all
for?
through my life, nothing's happened with football because I'm rubbish at football. This one day,
Obviously.
somebody kicked a ball to me, and these guys are bored to tears of hearing the story now, but I kicked a ball and my Achilles tendon exploded. I don't know why, but it exploded and I exploded. Well, rupture doesn't sound dramatic.
Exploded's great. It's a good word.
It exploded.
Rupture is quite bad.
Yeah, rupture.
Yeah, so I spent 2 months. I'm still in recovery because I can't quite reach the
Yeah, you had to miss the UK tour, or?
It was a European tour. We was in Italy when it happened, so I
To be fair on him, the day it happened, he like ruptured his Achilles tendon and still played a gig, sat in the stool.
Aww.
So he still,
Should have sat down playing. Which must have been hard.
Yeah, so fair play.
You guys are hardcore.
And it was awesome because as soon as we finished, an ambulance turned up. The paramedics wheeled the gurney, the stretcher, through the crowd, strapped him to a stretcher, and wheeled him off in the crowd just as soon as.
And you got like a standing
Everybody
ovation.
clapping. It was brilliant.
And the whole time, this one guy just kept trying to get photos of me. Can I have my autograph?
Oh wow.
It's great.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I got my toes crushed in your mosh pit. So.
Oh, no, and you're still doing
man,
the
that pit
interview,
was.
see,
That was a pretty good pit. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of like pain, you know. So.
I don't.
I guess the whole sort of social networking sites have made it so much easier for bands to get exposure worldwide at the click of a button. Whereas in the old days when we first started out, it was all about tape trading and, you know, getting friends abroad and them to write and send them your demo and stuff like that.
It's not only that; it's the fact that these days, because of social media and like all that kind of stuff, you can be a band, like not have recorded anything or even played a show, and everybody loves you because of like hype that's built up. Whereas when we started, it was basically you go out and play all the time, you do every shit show that happens, and you kind of work your ass off. And there's a lot of bands these days that are big and have have no kind of background to them almost, and that. But you know, that's good in a way because it means that a lot of people have the opportunity to do sort of music for a living. But we missed that.
Yeah.
I wish we could have done that.
Yeah.
What have you noticed stylistically over the last 20 years as far
I don't
as...
know, I think everything goes in circles. It's like right now there's a resurgence in the kind of music we play. Obviously the Sabbath reunion has helped that, and there's just a plethora of killer bands at the moment. You know, Down are still fucking going strong, and probably Rule the Roost with the sort of stuff that we do.
Clutch of
Next
step up.
Taking a step up, you know, Monster Magnet still doing it, Vista Chino, which is the guys from Caius are out there, and there's a lot of interesting new bands that are doing a great job, bands like Graveyard, and you know, it's a good time for this style of music, so it's exciting times.
It's definitely,
you know, the cream will rise to the top in the end, and people are just latching on to good music.
Fact, music goes in cycles.
same as fashion does.
Yeah, so it's like things come around all the time. So guitar-based kind of live music will be big for a few years, and it will kind of die down again because that's just what happens. That's what's happened forever, basically. And I think we're just at the peak of the cycle at the moment, and like, you know, people are looking for something other than overproduced kind of chart.
I'm not sure it'll
music.
die down as much as it has done in the past, because with social media and things like that, people are just listening to stuff which in the past they couldn't do. So there's just more people into everything. Like every style of music has more fans because it's so accessible. So,
And music genre.
I know, I like the last Daft Punk album.
I love the Beastie Boys.
The Beatles have been my favourite bands.
yeah, I mean,
Ever, you know. I don't listen to.
fairly big fans of country music. You know.
Yeah. Just, I mean, early Elton John,
Pink
stuff
Floyd,
like that. I
yeah,
love that
there's-
stuff.
And yours is punk.
Yeah, I'm from like an old hardcore background. So like in the early '80s, it was all like Black Flag and Minor Threat for me when I was a kid.
Black Flag just played here, I think.
What, Black Flag or Flag?
Well,
Black Flag
it's
with
confusing.
with
Greg
gin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, right.
Listen to Flag, don't listen to Black Flag.
Right. Well,
Which is
we
weird.
played here.
Yeah.
We actually just interviewed Melvin's here maybe like a month ago or so.
And they've been going how long now? 20 years?
Melvin's more.
Longer than that? 25 years? 30 years almost. So there's another band that's kind of just done whatever the fuck they want, done their own thing forever.
They
They can
never
do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Ever.
So,
Like following
Yeah, I've got a
fashion.
lot of respect for that band.
so
Yeah, me too.
Does he try to put his punk influences in your metal?
Yeah, definitely. And that's
Yeah,
what
I think we embraced that. You know, I think when we first started out, we obviously lumped in with that whole stoner rock scene, but between the four of us, we thought there's more to us than just a stoner rock band.
Yeah,
I think the four of us all have a slightly different musical background, you know, and I think what we do is it's just a mix of everything. So, you know, you can see signs of like blues and southern rock, old-fashioned kind of like, you know, 70s metal and like, you know, mid-80s American hardcore.
And it's your thing.
Well, yeah.
We're a rock band.
Great. Well, perfect, because this is the rock and roll industry.
And Slade are the greatest band that ever lived.
Slade.
I'm talking about Queen's Park Rangers.
How are they doing?
They're
Top of the league.
They're doing fucking great. That's about it, really.
We can do voices. Do voice impersonations.
Oh,
No, I can't do that.
Ah.
I do the worst impressions ever.
Oh, come on.
Joe can do a really good Marge Simpson singing.
But he does an impression of Rod Stewart singing
Oh, it's awesome.
the Cardigans, and it sounds like Marge Simpson.
If I sing Love Fall by the Cardigans in the style of...
Rod Stewart, it sounds like
Marge Simpson.
Love me, say that you love me.
Oh, I've lost my voice.
Oh no. Okay, so anything else?
That didn't work.
Last final word.
If you do get trapped in your flat, try not to get trapped in your flat. That's the only advice I can give you.
It's good advice. I have one more question, and I don't mean to put pressure on you. You just put out an album, and well, 2 albums after a long break. Anything coming new?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, as Martin said, we do this for a living now, so we realise there's an importance to keep delivering new records, and I think
And you did put it on vinyl.
the
didn't
first
you? Your album?
quarter of
That's
next year,
awesome.
we'll definitely think about entering the studio and writing a new record. So
Great. Will it be on vinyl as well?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. Bring it back. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We wanted
Thank
to
you.
bring vinyl with us, but you just cannot afford the shipping. You know. got to ship it all from the UK. It's just too heavy and too expensive.
Right.
What do you
That's
find?
heavy.
It's heavy.
I can write lyrics based on a movie I've seen, a book I've read, anything like that. It's a chance to escape the monotony of real life.
You're a horror buff, right? Has any of your songs been in horror films yet?
Not in horror films,
Are
no,
you
but I've
looking-
been inspired by horror films.
Great. What about that? Would you want any of your music to be in horror films?
I'd love that, but I don't really think it's what we do. You know, there's bands like Electric Wizard that are more suited to that, I think, and I'm just happy to just sort of try and spill some of my sort of love of horror films into my lyrics and the odd song here and there.
Great. Do you put anything political into them and things that go
Nah,
on?
I don't agree with the idea of politics in music
Well,
because
it's not.
I don't know enough about it to argue the cause.
Plus the fact it's not what we do. I mean, you know, art is a good way of expressing yourself, and you know, there's always space for politics. Not politics in art, but
And somebody's falling asleep over there. We need to get him a beer.
As far as it's not me.
Drink of choice? Yours was beer on stage, no?
I like beer, I like whiskey, I like gin, I like vodka, I like everything.
Yeah? What about you?